Welcome, I'm filming the REALME GT, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So we're gonna start off with the swipe down for notification panel. Normally when you try to swipe down, it gives you this search. Personally, I don't really care for it, so I like to have a swipe down for notifications, so I don't have to reach all the way to the top to get it down. And to enable this, all you need to do is go into the settings. From here, navigate to home screen, lock screen, and always on. Display, find the swipe down on home screen and select notification. And now once you swipe down, as you can see, you can pull down notification from like basically as low as you can swipe down, so makes it really nice in my opinion. I rather have this over the search. Then moving on to the next option, it's gonna be the simple dark mode. Now you can enable it through settings obviously, but you can also quickly access right here to the basically notification tray, and once you tap on it, it turns on the dark mode. As you can see, this will extend over the entire Android along with default applications, so calls, messages, browser, photos, and so on will be supported by it. Now applications that are basically like additional applications, so as an example, video or Prime Videos, Amazon, Netflix, stuff like that will probably not be supported. They usually have their own settings associated with it, so you will need to either find those settings in there, or there's also a chance that some applications that you have downloaded from Play Store simply don't have any kind of dark mode. And if that is the case, everything will be in dark mode apart from those applications. And additionally, if we go into the settings under the display and brightness, we have the option for dark mode to have auto switch. When enabled, it will basically choose the, actually switch it up, there we go. It will choose light mode during the day and dark mode during the night. Now if you have it enabled, it will be the reverse, so during the day you will have dark mode, during the night you will have light mode, which might seem a little bit redundant at that point. That's personal opinion, you might like it that way. I prefer to have it light during day, so it is easier to see during this direct sunlight and when you're outside. Now, anyway, moving on to the next option, it's going to be associated primarily with the screen. So number one would be the screen color mode, and again it's all on the display right here. So if we scroll down, we have screen color mode, and by default it is set to vivid. We have also gentle and brilliant. Not really sure what brilliant is supposed to be, because the vivid is already enhanced color display. So anyway, brilliant or gentle is more, I guess, accurate color rather than vivid. Vivid is just pump up the saturation of colors to make them look as colorful as you possibly can. And the brilliant is basically almost the exact same. As you can see by switching them on between, there is like almost no difference between them. And ironically, it seems like vivid is a little bit less saturated compared to the brilliant, so again doesn't really make sense. And we do have additional images. Again, we can see a little bit more saturation in this one, and if we go with the gentle, as you can see, there is a difference between the saturation between those, so this is the more accurate one. And last option, as you can see, now here you can see a bit more of a difference between those two. But at the end of the day, it is more up to what you like to see. If you prefer the vivid, then go right ahead and stick with it. I personally prefer something a little bit less saturated, a little bit more toned down, and this one will be for me the middle option. Now going back, we have also a couple additional things associated with screens. So we have video color enhancer and also video image sharpener. So as you can see, there's a little bit of an animation right here, how it looks like now. I don't think this will show much of a difference right here, but I can test it out. It looks like this image is a little bit sharper than this one, so it basically artificially sharpens it to make it look a little bit more high quality than it actually is. And video color enhancer just adds additional color to it, makes the image look a little bit more lively. Again, this is something similar to the color aspects that we chose, so vivid, gentle, and brilliant. It's kind of similar to this, but just done for videos itself. So if you want it, you can turn it on from here, and there you go. Okay, so moving on to a next option, it's going to be the screen refresh rate, and again it's under the display, although it's under the more option right here at the bottom. We have screen refresh rate, and then we have auto select, we have the standard, and we have high. Now auto select basically determines it for you, so sometimes it will set it to 60, even though it might be probably beneficial to have it at 120. But in other cases, for instance, if you're looking at images or basically anything that is standing still, like this page right here, it will drop the refresh rate to lower one to preserve battery, while when you're trying to scroll up and down like this, it will boost it up to 120, so scrolling through content looks a little bit more smooth and nice. But honestly, in here you can also cap it to a specific amount, so if you want to, for instance, have 60, you don't see much of a difference between 120 and 60, then go right ahead and change it to standard. If you prefer to have it always capped at 120, you can just select this. Personally, I think I prefer to have it always capped. Now additionally, by setting it up at 60, you will gain a little bit more battery rather than with 120. 120 Hertz will drain it a little bit quicker, so there is a trade-off. You will have smoother content, but also you will have less battery life. But to me, the trade-off right here is fairly worth it. When you're scrolling up and down to content and you just have pages moving, with 120 it just looks super battery smooth, and can't really show this on camera because the camera is recording at 60 frames, so anything above it gets basically lost. But if you have been using this device already, then you probably already see the difference between like the video or what you see on this video right here, and for instance when you're scrolling up and down on your device, everything just moves way nicer than it is on the video. But anyway, let's move to the last option, which is the gesture navigation, and by default it comes disabled, and you don't have anything about it during the setup, so you can actually enable it by going into the convenience tools right over here, and then navigation, and simply select the swipe gestures from both sides. This removes your buttons from the bottom and substitute them for gestures. Now it does give you an animation here how to use them, and just to quickly go over it, you can swipe from either side. As you can see, there's this arrow appearing to go back, so once I let go it just moves page back. Same goes from the other side. Then you can swipe up to go home, and swipe up and hold to go to recent. Now when it comes down to the swipe up gesture, it is a little bit more tricky for people that have never used this. So if you're having problems with actually activating this gesture, what I can advise you to do is when you're trying to swipe up, normally you do have this tiny little bar in here. Let me just bring it up. There we go. I don't know why it didn't want to open, but you can barely see this tiny bar right here, and you're supposedly supposed to swipe up on it. But if you try to swipe up a little bit too high, you might basically activate the swipe up gesture like this, so you're trying to go up and down on a page. So to combat this, what you want to do is start the swipe off of the screen from the bezel, the black area that doesn't light up. When you swipe up on it, from that area onto the screen, you are basically guaranteed to get the gesture correctly. So anyway, this will conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.